Have you ever thought that not having enough money is a problem? Well, it's not. Money is just a sign of a problem, not the real issue. The real problem is not having the right skills. Think about lottery winners. They suddenly have lots of money. Many end up broke later on. Why? Because they lack the skills to manage money wisely. I'm rich not because I had money to start with, but because I developed skills. Today, I'll show the 7 skills I've mastered to become rich. As I explain each one, rate yourself from 0 to 10 in the comments. 0 means you're terrible at it, and 10 means you're exceptional. Let's get started. Number 1, the ability to talk to customers persuasively. We call this a closing skill. Do you know how to close? Can you explain the worth of what you do to your possible customers? Do you know how to ask strong questions that make people want to buy? Are you okay talking to people you don't know, sharing your ideas, showing what you offer? Closing is one of the most important, if not the most important skills you need to learn if you want to be wealthy. When you're chatting with clients, you're closing. When you're discussing the suppliers, trying to get them to give you better deals, guess what? You're closing. When you're chatting with your workers, you're closing. Number 2, public speaking. One of the top skills that can make you wealthy is the ability to talk to groups, also known as public speaking. Did you know that the biggest fear for most people isn't snakes or even death? It's actually speaking in public. Why are so many people scared of speaking to groups? Mostly because they worry about sounding silly, how they look, or saying something wrong. But if you look at great leaders like Steve Jobs, Tony Robbins, and Warren Buffett, they're all excellent public speakers. Do you feel nervous speaking to groups? Can you share your ideas confidently? Do you know how to engage with your audience? Maybe you get sweaty hands or feel like your knees are shaking? That's normal. Public speaking is a skill you can learn, and it's one of the most important skills to master if you want to be successful. Number 3, copywriting. The third skill that can make you wealthy is the ability to write persuasively. This skill is called copywriting. Copywriting is not about perfect grammar or academic writing. It's about effectively communicating through written words, like on your webpage, in emails, or in social media. Why is this skill so crucial? Because much of our daily communication, such as emails, social media posts, agreements, and blogs, relies on written communication. Knowing how to write effectively gives you a lot of power. For example, if you have a social media post that reaches a large audience, it gives you leverage. Copywriting was the first skill I mastered, and it changed my life. It took me from losing money to earning $10,000 a month in early 20s. Copywriting is not something you learn in school, it's a skill that can greatly benefit you. Skill number 4 is the ability to communicate clearly and effectively with your team. This is all about your leadership. To be a good leader, you must be good at communicating. Do you know what your company's vision is? And are you sharing it with your team? Do you explain the vision clearly to them? Do you know how to create a positive culture in your organization? All of this is part of being a good leader. Business is not something you do alone. It's not just about thinking. It's also about working with a team. Your team is key to your success. So it's really important to develop your leadership skills so you can inspire, motivate, and lead your team well. Number 5, time management. Skill number 5 is about managing and organizing your time for the best results. Some call it time management, but I prefer to call it priority management. We all have the same 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year. You can't actually manage time because it's fixed, but you can manage your priorities. What are the important things you need to focus on? What will move you closer to your goals? Most of us were never taught how to manage our priorities. We go to school, do homework, take exams, take care of our families, and do many other things, but we rarely stop to ask ourselves why we're doing these things and what the payoff is. Priority management is really about self-management. It's about managing yourself. If you can efficiently manage your time every day and focus on a few key things that you know will bring results, you're on the right track. Rich people understand the value of their time. They avoid what I call minimum wage activities. If someone else can do a task for less than what your time is worth, it's better to delegate it. That's skill number 5. Number 6, financial literacy. This skill is about understanding financial statements, which isn't typically taught in school. In school, we're graded with A's, B's, or C's, but in the real world, especially in business, we use financial statements as our scorecard. These statements show how well you're managing your money. You might be wondering if I'm suggesting you become an accountant or take accounting courses. That's not necessary, but it's important to grasp the language of money known as financial literacy. This includes understanding terms like balance sheet, income statement, and cash flow statement. When you look at these statements, you might feel overwhelmed by the numbers, but instead of just seeing numbers, try to read between the lines. What story are the numbers telling you about your financial management? It's crucial to understand basic financial terms like credit score, return on investment, profit and loss, and others. You can't improve your financial situation if you don't understand it. So mastering financial literacy is key to building wealth. Number 7, networking. In today's world, being successful with money and moving up in your career are closely tied to how well you know people. Making real friendships is more than just giving out your contact details. It's about building relationships that help both sides. A strong network can bring you lots of chances. It can help you find jobs that aren't even advertised, introduce you to people who might invest in your business plans, and give you great advice from people who've been there. If you spend time and energy making good connections, you're not just making a network, you're making a launch pad for what comes next. Number 8, mindset. This is the most important skill of all, managing your own mind. I call it your mindset skill. How do you handle your emotions? How do you manage your thoughts? You could get all the other skills right, but if your mindset isn't right, it won't work. Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, emphasizes this. Part of thinking is managing your mind. What are you feeding your mind? Sometimes you know what you need to do, but can't get yourself to do it because of procrastination. Maybe you've let opportunities slip by because of self-limiting beliefs. Or perhaps you don't believe in yourself even when others do. These are all part of your mindset skill. These are the 8 skills that lead to wealth. If you want to learn how to change your mindset and become successful, head over to our channel. Lao Tzu said it best, knowing others is intelligence, but knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering others is strength, but mastering yourself is true power.